The first thing we do when we start working with a new dog is we introduce our markers. And we want to be thoughtful on how we do this. In our system, we use 5 different markers. Markers are just short sounds that mark the exact moment a dog earned reinforcement. And if a dog understands why they're being rewarded, they can come back and easily offer the behavior again. It's really important that if we use markers, we use them correctly, and we're thoughtful about how we put them together. And it's easy to screw markers up. So we want to make sure markers are short sounds, they're really consistent, they're void of emotion, they're not multiple sounds. Like we don't want markers to sound like, yes, good girl, and we don't want markers that are really long, like, yes! Those kind of markers blur the moment we're trying to reinforce. It's too long of a period of time. So we want those sounds to be really short and really clear to the dog. The other thing that we do is we always introduce terminal markers first. And terminal markers, they tell the dog they're correct, but they immediately release the dog from any expectation. And the reason we do this is that if we tend to reward the dog in place every single time, if the reward goes directly to the dog every single time in the beginning of training, the dog tends to take the food and then check out. We lose them in between every rep. So from the beginning, we use terminal markers where the dog chases the food to create an automatic reset to where the dog grabs the food and they want to come back to work. And this creates, it helps us not create that problem where the dog's checking out in between reps. So how these look. The first marker we use is a clicker. And you can condition a marker without asking for a behavior. I tend to like to just condition it with a simple behavior first. I've never seen a difference. And so we'll create a behavior that's we'll work on a behavior that's relatively easy for the dog to do in the beginning. And we'll condition our marker at the same time. So with all of I'm going to condition eye contact. The first terminal marker we're going to use is a clicker. Every time we click, it tells him the moment I clicked is timed with the behavior I like. If he looks at me, and then the marker predicts that I'm going to toss the food away from him. And so if he looks at me, and I want him to do it on his own, I'm going to click and toss. If he comes back, as soon as he makes eye contact with me again, I'm going to click and toss again. And I want to see that automatic reset. Perfect. All right, the second terminal marker we use get it. Get it is a verbal sound that does the exact same thing. And for this to work, the marker has to happen before I toss. So I get it, and there's a gap in between, and then I toss. Get it, and then I toss. Get it, and then I toss. And I'm marking the second he looks at me. Get it. Get it. Beautiful. And then the third terminal marker we use is yes. And yes is the same thing, except for every time I mark, the yes marker predicts the rewards in my hand. And it's really important here that it's not yes, where he's stimming off my movement. It's yes, and then move. Yes, and then move. Yes, and then move. Yes, and then move. So the yes marker is telling him that eye contact, yes, is what's driving this. Yes. And so every time he chooses to look at me, yes. And so we start with these markers for a few weeks, and we'll shape every behavior with terminal markers. And once we've got some really strong behaviors, then we'll start introducing our other markers.